It's time to answer another Mailbox Monday question. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and every week on Monday, I answer your questions about copywriting, marketing, business building, and more. And I have a good question, something I thought it might be a little fun to dive into and also provide a lot of value to you about how to write compelling YouTube and Facebook ads. So, the question is from E. Says, I'm an agency owner, but in today's world, most of these gurus focus on client acquisition. That's not the case. If you got a client, you have to deliver. Therefore, I'm coming here. I want to see how I can write compelling ads for YouTube and Facebook. All right. Awesome. Yes. Great. I'm a little confused about okay, you have clients, but you don't know how to do the service. But hey, we're gonna roll with it and assume that maybe you're just getting started. You're not so worried about client acquisition, and you just want to make sure that you're gonna deliver before you go out and get those clients. So, with that, let's dive into the compelling ads for YouTube and Facebook. And by the way, before we get into this, yes, YouTube and Facebook are slightly different. There's obviously the issue of different media. Not every Facebook ad is a video, but every YouTube ad is a video, at least every YouTube ad of consequence. And when you're dealing with these different situations, you might think, oh, the media is going to be different. The approach to writing the ads is going to be different. But ultimately, fundamentally, on a principles and strategy basis, what you're going to do in a YouTube ad is not that different from what you're going to do in a Facebook ad. Is not that different, honestly, from what you're going to do in an email or anywhere else that you might have a little bit of copy, but not a ton of copy to really introduce an audience, especially a cold audience, to your idea, to your product, to your service, to whatever it is that you are going to ask them to do in terms of actions that they need to take. So the number one secret to writing ads that work is alignment. It's alignment. It's alignment between your targeting, meaning the audience that you're going after, the who you're going after, right? Alignment between that person, that individual who has a particular want, need, desire, whatever, that they are a gap that they have, a hole that they need to fill. And that hole could be whatever. The big categories of making more money, being more healthy, or having better relationships, obviously, but you can shrink that down to the very specific gap or hole that they need to fill. And that's an unfulfilled desire. It's an unsolved problem. And there is a who behind that. And so there needs to be alignment with the who. There needs to be alignment with the message, right? Whatever copywriting tactics and techniques you're going to use, the underlying message needs to align with that desire that person has. So you're targeting people who are, let's say they're interested in writing compelling YouTube ads or compelling Facebook ads. My message, if I'm targeting you with, hey, I'm looking for people who run YouTube ads, and that's how I'm targeting. And it may be more specific than that, but I'm looking for people who run YouTube ads. Well, I need to talk about running YouTube ads, right? Regardless of any tactics of how I might open it up, how I might intro it, how I might get your attention, how I might structure the ad, right? The message, the underlying message needs to be in alignment with your unfulfilled desire, with your unmet need, right? And that message needs to be in alignment. And then your offer, right? Whatever I'm going to ask you to do as a result of this needs to be in alignment with what you want, right? Okay, you have an unsolved problem. I talk to you about your unsolved problem, so the message and the targeting are in alignment, and then I offer a solution to the problem. And that alignment, all of this, if you get that right, you're 98% of the way there. Honestly, there's so many different ways that you could approach it, but as long as you get those three different things right, making sure that the targeting is in alignment with the message, is in alignment with the offer, right? As long as you get those three things working together, honestly, it's much harder to go wrong once you've passed that step. And And while we can talk about stylistically what makes for great copy and all of that, right? And copy meaning the script or the words used there in the ad, regardless of any techniques and like whatever style might make for great copy, better alignment is better copy, right? Somebody can have something that's in perfect alignment that has almost no style at all, that the writing is almost invisible, and it's going to perform better in this scenario than something where somebody is like stylistically like a great writer or whatever BS that is, right? Because the alignment is the essential component that makes for great copy. Okay, now before you start writing your ads, if we're going to get in alignment, you need to ask yourself some important questions. And this exact same thing applies whether you're writing ads for yourself or for clients, right? I like to start at the offer. What's your offer? What do they get and what action do they need to take to get it? And in a lot of cases, this initial action that we're going to ask for, okay, there's going to be like a click through to a landing page, which is the immediate action. And that's going to be important to end up having as a CTA. But it's going to be something like, hey, sign up for our free webinar and get this. Request your access to this private training and you'll get this, right? And so it's going to be some kind of lead generation step most often for most of these ads that are very scalable to cold traffic. There's going to be at least an initial step that is a lead generation step. And so I get on YouTube, I'm in the YouTube ad and I say, hey, if you want to write compelling YouTube ads, what you need to do is you need to go to the link in the description because I have this special training that's available to you on how to write compelling YouTube ads. And it's going to cover boom, boom, boom. And this link, when you click that, all you have to do is enter your email address. You can request it. You'll get instant streaming access to this free training, and it will help you write more compelling YouTube ads starting, 15 minutes from now. Boom. Okay, right? Like that's what they get and what action they need to take is they go to this landing page, they enter their email address. They're within 15 minutes, they're going to be writing more compelling YouTube ads, right? And heck, I might even use this video as something like that. So who is this a fit for? So we've asked ourselves what the offer is, what do they get, what action do they need to take? And a lot of times these things like they need to come out of each other, right? So starting with an offer is often less effective than knowing, for example, that there are an audience of people that want to know how to write compelling YouTube ads, right? And so if my audience is how to write compelling YouTube ads and my offer is how to write compelling YouTube ads, right? And I'm able to target people based on search activity and similar characteristics to people who search, right? If I'm able to give the AI algorithm, like, these are the type of people that I'm going after, can you find more like that? And all of them are interested in how to write compelling YouTube ads, right? And then I offer how to write compelling YouTube ads. There's alignment, right? Like, I hope you get this. Like, it's fairly simple. So who's this a fit for? Get really specific. It should match your targeting, right? Like when you're thinking about the ad, you need to think about who you're targeting. Who am I putting this in front of, right? What unifying factor, such as they want to know how to write compelling YouTube ads, what unifying factor brings them together in such a way that I'm able to target them? Or, whatever their interests are on Facebook or whatever it is, right? One thing that you can do, especially if you have a bigger mass market offer, is if you think like, for example, some kind of broad financial product, it may be relevant to carve out buyers from within this broader audience. So if you think about, okay, I want to target anybody that has just a general interest in personal finance, but then something within that audience is going to be a identifying factor that they're going to be able to recognize within themselves. So I don't know, I'm just coming off the top of my head here, but if you lost money in crypto in the last year and you never want to lose another penny again in investments like that, well, maybe that's not possible, but you can make a lot smarter decisions with your money. I want to help you do that, right? So that's carving out buyers from within an audience. If you lost a bunch of money in crypto, boom, that audience knows who they are, even if my targeting is like this broader personal finance targeting, right? I'm able to identify that as an audience for this particular ad, right? And then why do they want it? What's the benefit? What's the transformation? What do they want to get away from? What do they want to get towards, right? So we know what's your offer, who's it fit for, and why would that person want that offer? I mean, it could be because how to write compelling YouTube ads, like they want to grow their business. They want to get more leads. They want to get more customers. They want to make more sales. They want to make more profits, right? There's reasons that people do these things and want offers like this. And so you have to think about, okay, they don't know how to write an ad that's going to work really well on cold traffic. They want it because they want to be able to scale their business quickly, because they recognize that the algorithms make it possible that when you have something that works, it's going to allow your business to scale really quick, right? And so the transformation that they expect is like this business that's bigger and more successful and brings in customers way easier than ever before. And the more that these benefits, the transformation that you're offering can be fast, easy, free in terms of how you present it, or fast, easy, high ROI, it's going to be extremely beneficial. So even like the free, right? Having a quick free training, 15-minute free training on how to write compelling YouTube ads, boom, I found a way to work in free that's going to make people that's going to make people excited about it. And actually I worked in fast there, right? It's a 15-minute training. Presumably 15 minutes is also a little bit easy, right? So we're working in these different concepts to get people excited to click through. All right. Next up, the 3 parts of 99.5% of all effective ads, knowing that 99.5% of all statistics are made up, but basically effective ads do these things. Effective ads, number 1, they hook your attention. Number 2, they provide some kind of content, some kind of, core message. And then they provide a CTA, right? And so what we need to do at the very beginning, and this is, in Facebook, it's stopping the scroll. It's a thumb stopping introduction to your ad, that first sentence, that first whatever, as somebody is scrolling through Facebook, it needs to be something where your ideal prospects, they see it and they're like, I have to read the next part, right? So how can you hook their attention? And on Facebook, sometimes there's going to be graphical elements that are going to hook their attention and pull them into the ad copy. On YouTube, it's the exact same thing. In 5 seconds, they can skip your ad, right? In 5 seconds, they can click that skip button. And so you need to do something to get their attention within 5 seconds such that they are going to be predisposed to thinking, hey, this is for me, this is interesting, and I want to engage with it, right? Excuse me. And so you need to study hooks. You need to study what gets people's attention. And oftentimes this is a place where you're going to want to experiment the most and try a bunch of different things, expecting that maybe something that you completely don't expect is what's going to work best, or you're going to find something that works best that is what you expect, right? But you don't really know until you test these. But the whole point of the first couple lines of copy, whether it's going to be said out loud in video or whether it's going to be put as text on the screen, that plus whatever visual complement you have to the message needs to stop their scrolling, stop their drive to move on to the next bit of content, and it needs to grab their attention and make the attention sale. I say the attention sale, this is like you're getting someone to invest their attention with you for the length of the advertisement. Now, the content here is basically where you present, hey, here's the benefit I'm offering, here's the transformation I'm offering, here is the destination that I'm gonna help you get to, right? And we're going to justify the next action. We're going to make a promise about what they're going to get, maybe what problem we can solve or how we can fulfill some certain desire of theirs, right? We're going to justify that next action. And then we're going to tell them how to get what we just promised them, right? That's the CTA. We're going to tell them what to do. Okay, now you need to click the link with this video, and you're going to go to a landing page where you're just going to have to enter your email address and you're going to get access to boom, right? Or whatever it is, right? I don't know what your specific offer is. It's just that's a very common one for anybody providing any kind of information, even as part of the sale of some product or service, right? But we're going to tell them what they need to do to get whatever benefit we just promised. Now, I have a training called Backwards Facebook Ads Copywriting, and I'll give you a little hint as to how to make this all easier and how to come up with a lot of different ad creative based on a very limited subset. So you may be testing a ton of ads, but the CTA for all of them, let's say you need to create 100 ads, right? You need to create 100 ads in the next, 2 weeks. The CTA may be the same for all of them. They may all be going to a single destination, right? But so you have a clear CTA at the end and you define that, right? And then we're going to go backwards through the ad. Now we can come up with a few different ways to justify them actually following through on the CTA, right? And so we may come up with four different core stories that we have for each of those, or that can justify that next action. And then we may come up with 5 hooks for each of those, and suddenly we're playing with a whole bunch of different structures of ads, right? All coming from the same spot. So hook their attention in 5 different ways that are all relevant to whatever way we're going to justify the next action here. And then we hook their attention in 5 different ways that are all relevant to how we're going to justify their next action here, right? And we are able to come up with all these different ads in a much more rapid and effective process than maybe just having to start at the top with all of them. By writing backwards, it can be really effective. Now, I will include a link in the description to the Backwards Facebook Ads training where I go deeper into how to do this. Some more tips for more effective ads here. Number 1, come out of the gate swinging. If I didn't make that clear in the hook section, you really need to capture their attention and get them excited in the first couple seconds, because basically that we have this like infinite dopamine stimulating machine in the form of whatever screen we have in front of us where our YouTube and Facebook ads are appearing, and that infinite dopamine stimulating machine is going to keep feeding them more content, and you need to be the most exciting piece of content in this moment that they want to pursue that over, for example, whatever they just clicked on for what they intended to watch on YouTube. So you need to come out swinging, you need to get them excited, you need to engage their core desires. The better your targeting is, the more likely you are to have the essential reaction that is, this is for me. This is for, this YouTube ad is exactly what I like. It's relevant for me, more relevant than that next video that I was expecting to watch, right? So I'm going to stick around. Clarity beats cleverness. Don't try to be too clever with any of this. Just be very clear about who you're speaking to, what you can do for them, what problem you solve, and how they can solve that problem, right? Be clear about it. You can experiment with cleverness later, but you come up with your control ads, your base level, test away from it ads by being ultimately very clear about, the core components, that stuff that needs to be in alignment. And then be willing to test, because you could write something that is completely clever, that's off the wall, that doesn't do any of this. And I said 99.5% of all effective ads have that, hook content CTA, right? But you could test something, you could find something that works better because it's completely different, right? And so be willing to test short, be willing to test long. A lot of times very short Facebook ads will work for lead generation type offers, but sometimes it's extremely long ads that work really well, depending on the messaging and especially the alignment in that messaging and the offer to the audience. Test being very direct, where you're just stating the facts versus throwing in a bunch more personality, right? Some of those might work better for different audiences. Think in terms of first impressions. And so if you test 25 different hooks for the exact same content, that's 25 different first impressions. And those are going to perform in 25 different ways. Now, there's probably going to be a lot in the middle that perform about the same, right? But you're going to find that one first impression just captures your audience so much better than everything else. And you're gonna find that one was just like completely terrible, or 5 were completely terrible, right? But think in terms of testing first impressions with these ads, because that's what's happening when you're engaging with an audience. Don't forget the visuals. Visuals are important in YouTube videos. Visuals are important in Facebook ads. Visuals are important, and they're another way that you can grab attention. One quick reminder here for if you're in an agency, ads and traffic don't fix funnel problems. If you have problems with your economics, if you have problems with your conversion, if you have problems with actually getting people to take action on your site when they arrive at your site, if your site just doesn't get people to convert, no amount of ads and traffic tweaking, better targeting, better ad copy, whatever, is going to fix that. You need to have funnels that work first, period. And so it's great to test your funnels with some very targeted traffic to verify that they're getting you acceptable numbers. And then you take that and you run with it with all the different advertising tests. But you need to have the funnel working before you start spending a bunch of money on ads and traffic. And the bad news for those of you who are in agencies, who are media buyers, is that a lot of companies will come to you with broken funnels that are not able to generate the numbers that they need for paid traffic. And they expect you to be a miracle maker and find that perfect mix of traffic and ad copy that's going to send the perfect qualified client into their broken funnel, and somehow it's going to magically work out. If your economics, if your conversions aren't working in the funnel, you can't fix that with traffic. So my call to action for you at the end of this episode, which apparently we're running over 20 minutes and I just delivered a ton of value to you if you were paying attention and taking notes. Ask yourself, how can you use this? What are you going to do as a result of this? Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. There's a link in the description to sign up for my email as well. There's some free content right away if you sign up for that, as well as you get episode updates and more exclusive content for emails subscribers. I'll include links to the Backwards Facebook Ads copywriting course. Extremely beneficial if this is something that you are interested in. And I have an entire streaming library of marketing and copywriting courses called BTMSinsiders, Breakthrough Marketing Secrets Insiders. And that link is in the description as well. It's like Netflix for copywriting and marketing training. You pay one monthly fee, you get instant streaming access to everything. And finally, if you have a question you'd like to have answered in an upcoming episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, I'll include a link to do that as well. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. This has been another Mailbox Monday episode. I'm here every day actually increasing your skills and abilities as a copywriter, marketer, and entrepreneur with every episode. I will catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.